Hey there, it's Dr. Heyer from Holistic Health, where we use functional medicine and aspects of Chinese medicine to help sick people get well and help well people stay healthy. We've been doing a video series focused on ADHD, and in today's video, I want to touch base on a topic that's gaining more traction and being talked about more and more is traditional Chinese medicine. And some people may or may not know what that is, so we're going to start from kind of a broader perspective and then narrow in as the video goes on. So, traditional Chinese medicine is all about patterns and cycles. So here we have a drawing of 5 elements. And just as we all know that there's different seasons of the year, there's spring, summer, late summer, fall, and winter, there are times of the year that different organ systems are more energetically active and others are less active. And what does energy have to do with it? Well, let me explain at the next chart. So on this chart, what you see is a gentleman with a bunch of dots and lines all over him. And what that represents are the acupuncture meridians and acupuncture points. Now, this wall, this building, has energy running through it. Now, if I say that, that doesn't sound too woo-woo or too weird, because we all know there's electrical wires in this wall that go to the lights or the outlets. And I can literally control the light being on or off by turning the energy on or off. And our brain is very much like a battery or a capacitor, and it sends an electric signal down a fleshy wire or a nerve to make my arm do a bicep curl or to play the piano or play the drums or whatever. That electrical impulse is electrical energy. And any electrician can tell you if there's electrical current running through a wire in the wall. They actually have these little meters. They can walk up to a wall. They don't have to touch the wire, but they can measure the magnetic field around that wire and get an idea of what kind of amperage and current is in there. Now, the same concept here. If we've got energy running through our nerves in our body, we also have a magnetic field around our body. Now, you can call that an aura, a meridian, or channel. I don't really care what term you use it, but let's just acknowledge the fact that there's a flow of energy in the body. And just like if I want to charge up my phone or my tablet, I'm going to look for an outlet in the wall to plug into to tap into that energy, right? Makes sense. We use these terms every day. And an acupuncture point is nothing different than an electrical outlet that I can tap into to balance or charge meridians of energy. Hope that makes sense. Just like my cell phone works best with a full charge, so does my body. I mean, how many of us are walking around with so much energy we're just bouncing all over the place? Well, in the case of ADHD, maybe, and we'll get to that more in just a second, but most of us grown-ups are kind of tired and run down, and we need our batteries boosted and charged up. And so what we can do is we can tap into these acupuncture points with needles to rebalance that energy. Now, don't believe me? Don't take my word for it. Go online and Google Kirlian photography, because maybe if you've ever seen a military or army or war movie, they talk about infrared glasses or heat night vision glasses. Basically what that is photography that can see the heat signature a person or an animal is giving off in the middle of the dark. And those goggles can pick up on that infrared signal. Google Kirlian photography and you'll see different things like this. These are pictures that I got online, just like you can, of different items and the energy that's given off. Now, obviously, this middle one looks like a hand, and that's because it is. This one on the left, I oftentimes will ask people, what do you think that is? And they'll say, well, it looks like a brain, or it looks like ribs. It's actually the leaf that has fallen off of a tree that's in different states of decay, and the energy is starting to be dispersed. And this one over here, some people get it, some people don't. It's actually a stalk of broccoli cut in half, and you can actually see the energy coming off of your food, the vegetables, the things that we consume and that we eat. Okay, I hope that makes sense for you. Now, you're probably wondering, gosh, Doc, this is an ADHD video. Do you stick kids with needles? We don't do that a lot because a lot of kids don't want to be stuck with needles and they can't sit still anyway. And there's a lot of adults who don't want to be stuck with needles, and that's okay. They're not hypodermic needles. They're very, very small. They don't hurt. They feel like a mosquito bite. But even though that being that, they oftentimes would choose to do the laser instead of the acupuncture. And my lovely assistant has reached in and gotten us some needles. I mean, they're so super duper small. They're only about like a hair or two thick.
Can't even see it.
Can't even see it. We go a millimeter or two into the skin, and most people don't even feel. But like I said, with the kids, we don't usually do that, but we do have a laser option available. Now, what does this have to do with helping somebody with ADHD? Well, let's pick up on the next chart. So we can take this concept of energy and cycles and apply it to the human being when we're looking at a patient from a functional, holistic perspective. And a great analogy or imagery to use is a tree, and I use this a lot. Here we have a tree. It's fall, so leaves are starting to fall off of the trees right now, but imagine a tree full of leaves. And imagine this tree represents a person's well-being or their body. And leaves can be like symptoms. There can be many different symptoms. You can have sniffles, you can have a headache, you can have digestive issues, you can have diarrhea, you can have all sorts of symptoms. Leaves and symptoms can be plentiful, and they may attach to a branch that could be representative of a system or a syndrome or a condition. Maybe the cardiovascular system, maybe the respiratory or digestive or endocrine or the musculoskeletal system. And those leaves being symptoms, well, they can be plentiful, and they can be many, and they can have many different underlying causes. But they all attach to a branch, to a trunk, and they all have the same roots. And the underlying roots are body structure, body nutrition or chemistry, and the energetic or the emotional. Now, look back in history. Chinese medicine goes back 3, 4, 5,000, 7,000 years, depending on the author that you read. And they've always talked about body structure. And as a chiropractor, obviously that's something that I focus on quite a bit. If something's out of alignment, if something, or vertebrae or some joints are subluxated, causing interference and are not allowing the nervous system to do its job right, well, yeah, we have to adjust that to restore balance and flow of that nerve. Nutrition or body chemistry, as we've talked about in many other videos, toxins are things we need to look into. The child may be toxic with food additives or preservatives or other chemicals that's causing irritation to the nervous system. And even food sensitivities, as we mentioned, can cause cellular inflammation, causing inflammation in the brain. And those are things that need to be looked at, and we've discussed those before. But what we need to talk about today is the energetic or the emotional side. Like I said, we're not really sticking needles with little ones, but we do have lasers that we can use on some. But in this regards, I want to focus more on the emotional side. And in other videos, we talked about the emotional intelligence side, dealing with negative thoughts, addressing and identifying triggers, and just developing that emotional intelligence in you as the parent and also the child themselves. So this is kind of the overall perspective of how we look at a person, not just one thing or this thing. We know that all of these things come into play. If there's something wrong with any one of these roots, it will eventually have an effect on the branch and the leaves up top. Any gardener, any horticulturist, any arborist can tell you that when the plant is sick or a tree is sick, or there's a section of a tree that's brown or dying, or a section of a plant that's brown and dying, they don't just look at the leaves, they look at the underlying roots. And that's what we do with a person, a patient. We look at the whole person and we realize, hey, they may be presenting with a symptom that may be related to or associated with a condition like ADHD, but we want to look at the underlying roots and address those, correct those, and help the body help heal itself. Thanks. Have a great day.